Hi everyone. So, love my hips. This practice is a really nice grounded one. We start off with a nice grounded flow and then we'll end with some grounded hip openers. So, love my hips. This practice will be really good for anyone that's holding any tightness around this region. So, it will help release that tension, and also, this is quite a good one if you're feeling stressed or anxious. A lot of us hold tension and emotional stress in our hips, so the hip openers will help to release this as well. So enjoy. So we're going to start lying on our back. So come and find a place. Just lay down nice and comfortably. And I'm going to stay seated just to begin with so you can hear me. But just lay on your back. And as you come onto your back, just let the shoulders roll down. Just take this a few times so you can just find that length in the neck. Take your arms out by your side, just with your palms facing up. And then have some space between the ankles. So just let the feet part so that you can just feel the hips just soften and open. Close the eyes if you haven't done so already. And just starting from the top of your head, take a scan all the way down your body, and just notice how you're feeling today. Just check in. Is there anywhere in the body that's feeling tense? How are you emotionally feeling today? And then just start to bring that focus to your breathing. So notice your breath just flowing in and out of the nose. Trying to slow this pace down and find space in between each breath. So there's really no rush, just take your time. Just feel your body becoming calmer and more present on your mat. Because that's where we want to be, nowhere else, but just on our mat. So from here, when you're ready, I want you to bring your knees in towards your chest. So just take your hands around the legs and just pull them in. Feel that release of the lower back. We're just going to let the knees come away and towards the body. So as you breathe in, feel the arms just naturally extend, keeping hold of those knees. And then when you exhale, draw the knees back in towards you and just feel those elbows bend. So as you breathe in, let the knees come away. And then as you exhale, bring them towards you. And keeping your eyes closed, just flow this at your own pace. So just breathing in and out. Just letting your legs just naturally flow away and towards you at your own time. Just repeat this once more, and then you're going to let your feet just land onto the floor. So from here, take the arms out wide if you have the space. You're going to lift your right leg and just place the right ankle on top of the left thigh. And then just push the knee out. Flex the right foot. So you're in this lying glute stretch. And then your right foot is going to just gently fall to the left side. So we're creating a twist in the body. So if you can get the foot down, great. Otherwise, don't worry if it's not quite there. Just want you to try and relax into the twist. So we're not forcing that foot down. It doesn't have to be connected to the floor. Try and keep the shoulders grounded. And if this is just really not feeling right in the body, then you can just unhook and then just bring the knees together. Just take a few breaths here. And just notice how this feels. You'll probably feel it more into the hip flexors, maybe even down towards the right thigh. You're mainly aiming here through the glute muscle. Just take one more breath and then just bring your legs back to the center. Unhook that foot and then this time bring the left one on top. So flex the foot, push the left knee out wide. And then when you're ready, breathe out and just let that foot fall to the right. Again, don't worry if the foot isn't falling all the way towards the ground. Just think about consciously pushing this left knee out and keeping those hips as open as you can. Okay, just take 2 more breaths. And then just find the center again. Okay, from here, just unhook the legs. I just want you to bring the knees back in and we're just going to circle those knees around. So circling them away from each other first. And then reverse that as well. So just reverse the direction and just feel as though you're massaging into your hips. Just a little self-massage for yourself. Okay, and then from there, roll onto one side and you're going to find all fours. So just bring your legs around to the back. So weight comes into the hands and knees and we're going to start to flow through cat and cow. So hands, wrists underneath the shoulders, spread the fingers out. Just bring the knees underneath the hips. So on our first breath, what we're going to do here is open the chest and lift the tailbone up. And then when you breathe out, we're going to take cow by rounding through the spine, releasing through the neck and just letting the chin come towards the chest. So breathe in to open, exhale to release and close. And I'd like you to try these 2 movements with your eyes closed. That way we can really listen to what's going on in our body and in our back. How is your back feeling today? Can you get your breath to flow with the movement? So thinking about how long that breath is in, that's how long it's going to take you to move into cat. And the same when we breathe out to cow. So if there is any tension in the body, in the back there, you might want to start to tease into it. So if you want to from here, you can break this mold. Maybe take rolling cat, circling the ribcage round. You might just want to see shape the spine and look back. So sort of go with feeling here rather than what it looks like. It's the weight might shift forward and back. You can move and bend into the arms a little bit more, maybe the shoulders. Might want to wag your tail. And then from here, we're going to find a kneeling position at the back of our mat. So just roll up, bring your palms together, just in front of your heart. So just check you're comfortable here. If it's uncomfortable sitting onto the heels, you can tuck the toes under or even lift if that feels better, okay? So just keep a bit of space between the knees. Soften through the hands and soften your shoulders down. Just close the eyes and just take a few moments here. Feel your breathing, feel the space. Let's get our breath to just flow with the movement. So on your next breath in, we're going to just take the arms up above the head. As you breathe out, just let the elbows bend and bring the hands back to heart center. So breathe in, lift. Breathe out, settle down. So we're going to do this a few more times. On the next one, if you want to, you can now use that breath in to lift up onto the knees. And then exhale and sit back down. So breathe in and breathe out. And as you lift, you might want to try and drive the hips forward a little bit more and just feel a slight back bend being introduced. Just go as far as you want with that movement. On your next one, we're going to lift up. And then this time when we come down, we're going to bring the hands down to the floor. Take all fours and open into upward facing cats. From there, we take our first downward facing dog. So tuck the toes to lift the knees and hips. And as it's the first one, just start to walk your heels. You might want to pad through the hands as well. Just let your body move however it feels natural to. Good, and then from there, just let the knees come down, hips back to your heels, roll back up until you find that kneeling position again. So let's just flow through those, through moves again. So breathe in, lift, exhale, come down. Breathe in to open, exhale to down dog. You might want to walk your heels, or you might just want to hold that position, keeping that length through the spine, opening through the chest. Then we come down, sit back and reset. So let's just now flow through this in our own time. Listen to the breath and try to just do this with your eyes closed. So you're really just going with your own pace. Your own timing with the movement. If you want to now, instead of up catch, you might want to reach a bit further and maybe take cobra. So relaxing the hips down, opening the chest, and then you can push to dog from there. If your back feels ready to. Make this next one your last one, and you're going to finish in downward dog. And just hold it in that position. hold that pose. And then from here, we're going to take the right leg up in the air. So sweep the leg up, take three-legged downward facing dog. I want you to bend the knee, just open through that hip. So lift the right knee up as much as you can, squaring the shoulders towards the floor. And then we're going to try this on the left leg as well. So bring the foot down, lift up. Just take a moment to open here. Keep breathing. Keep the pressure through the palms. And then bring the foot down. Now from here, we're going to take the right leg up again. We're going to step that foot to the outside of our right hand into our first lunge. So a nice wide lunge to begin with. Soften the back knee down and release the foot because we're going to stay in this pose. So the front knee, we keep it over the heel, hands stay on the inside of the foot, and we're just going to hold and maybe just start to introduce some movement. So massage yourself into the pose, into the lunge. Just go with what feels right. If there's a point that just doesn't feel good, don't press into it. We are naturally going to feel tension in the hips. We're going to feel that build up, and maybe there's a few points that might feel, a little tense. But we can actually tease into that point of tension. Rather than thinking about pulling away, breathing into it so we can try and release it. So if you find a point that feels tense, so I know when I really drop the hips down, I can feel it down the front of this hip. I'm going to take a breath in. And then as I exhale, I'm just going to try and soften through this area, soften through my shoulders, and just let myself be at that point. Again, it's really about listening to your body, just going with what feels right for you. It might feel good to maybe roll onto the outside of that right foot. It might feel good to push that knee away. What happens if it comes in? And maybe, if you want to, you can try and come onto your forearms. See how that feels. Might just be the one today. Feeling a bit tight for two maybe for me. Good. Keep breathing. Just think about softening all the edges. Okay, and then we're going to press the hands back into the floor, tuck the toes under at the back, lift the knee, so we revisit that lunge. We're going to hold there just for another moment, and then what we're going to do is we're going to take a twist. So bring your right hand onto that right knee and just turn your chest towards the leg. Okay, try and push through that back heel, keep the leg nice and strong. Find that twist, and if it feels good, reach the arm up. Press this left hand into the ground. Relax the shoulder, and then bring the hand back down. Step back to three-legged down dog. So sweep the right leg back up into the air. Bring the foot down, and then we repeat this on the other side. So left leg goes up, step it wide, okay? So we revisit that lunge. Relax the hips down, release the foot at the back, and again, just take some time to move in this pose. The first time coming into it can always feel a little bit tense, especially if you've just done the other side. You'll probably feel a difference straight away. So just keep breathing, keep moving if it feels right. Might generally just feel a bit different on this side, and that's okay. And don't just think about softening through the hips, think about softening where else might feel tense in the body. So in a lunge, quite commonly our shoulders can start to tense up, yeah, because we're kind of pushing and resisting against it. So just release there. And that might actually help bring those hips down a bit easier as well. Okay, let's just take a couple more breaths just in this kneeling lunge. And then we're going to take that twist. So tuck the toes under, lift the knee, push the heel away, really just squeeze and tense through that back leg. And then we're going to bring the hand on the knee, push against it to twist. And then if it feels right, take that arm up. One more breath. And then release it down, take this leg back to three-legged down dog. So push, sweep it up. And then we're all going to take child's pose, everybody. So just bring your knees down, hips back towards your heels, and just release there. So in child's pose, just take a little wriggle if that feels nice. Place your hands in front, or you can rest your head onto them. Just soften through the upper body, so relax those shoulders, relax through the neck. And just use this moment to breathe. And know at any point in any session, you can always come back to this point. This pose is your resting pose and your chance to just breathe. So we're going to come back to downward dog. So when you're ready, bring the weight back into the hands, lift the knees and hips. From here, we're going to take swan pose. So we're going to bend the knees, take a little crouch, and then we're going to bring our right knee in between the hands, lay that lower part of the leg down, and then if you can, slide the hips straight back and extend that back leg, okay? Make sure this front foot is slightly flexed so that we support this knee. And if this feels uncomfortable at any point, do not press into it, readjust your position. So, if this feels too tight on the hips, keeping the leg long, what you can do is just roll back onto the hip and you can bend that back knee slightly, okay? So that's your option. So wherever you are, we're going to turn our chest back to the front of our mat. So looking down, you should have your knee bent slightly over to the right. You want to try and release those hips down towards the floor. And then you're going to bring the weight down into the forearms just to help keep that balance. Or if it feels good, you can fully extend the arms away and bring your chest further down towards the floor. And we're just going to hold in this pose. But again, if it feels tense, something you can do to begin with is maybe just take a little rock side to side with the hips. So if you introduce a little bit of movement there, you're feeling as though you're massaging into the pose again, just like we did with that lunge. Or if you're quite happy to just stay and settle, just stay, hold, and just breathe. So as you're holding that position, feel the length of that breath in. And when you breathe out slowly, just feel this release through the hips. Try and soften your whole body towards the floor. Every breath out, just releasing more and more tension from you. Really surrender into that pose. The longer you're here, you may find there's more space to move into. So can you start to maybe extend that leg further away? Can the hips slide further down towards the floor? Yeah, never push yourself to that point of discomfort, but we always want to try and just see how far we can take it. And also just listening, what feels right today? So if you don't want to push that max, that's okay. Just be content where you are. So just take one more breath, and then you're going to walk your hands back in towards you. Lift the chest, try and open the chest up, and just pull those shoulders back, keeping the hips grounded. Take another deep breath in. Just stay. And then we're going to take the leg back. So tuck the toes, lift the leg back to down dog. Oh, and it might feel good to just walk the heels. Find a bit of movement there through the hips, everybody. Okay, so just keep walking there. And then we're going to find this all on the other side, of course, so be rude not to. So when you're ready, bring the left leg through. Slide the hips back. Also, this side might feel different. So again, just listen, what feels good. And then when you're ready to come down and repeat, it might feel good, of course, to just introduce that movement first. Go with what feels right, what feels natural. Natural's the right word. What's comfortable. Okay, so again, if you find those points of tension, just tease into it. Might feel good to just hold, press into that side. Use that exhale to release. So that out breath can do so much in our poses. It's really there to help release and let the tension go. So use it. Use the out breath as a tool to release. And as you're holding the pose, are the glute muscles starting to tense? Is the body trying to hold on to tension? Can you just let this go again? Just check in with the body. How is it feeling on this side? And the longer we stay, the more space we might find in the pose. So can you maybe slide that foot further away on this side? Okay, and then from there, walk your hands back in. Let's just lift the chest up like we did on the other side. Just press the hands into the floor. Keep the hips grounded. Take a couple of deep breaths in and then use the out breath to just relax those shoulders down. And then when you're ready to come out, just use this opportunity to just move however it feels right at this point. Might feel good to swing a leg up. You can do this on all fours and just open through the hips. Okay, so from here, our next pose that we're going to look at is frog. So frog pose, We're going to be resting onto the knees. We're going to take the legs out nice and wide. So I'll show you this from a couple of different angles. Depending on your flooring at home, you might want to pad and protect the knees underneath with either something like cushions or nothing too thick. You just want to use them as a bit of support, okay? We don't want to elevate ourselves up too much. So to come into frog, no easy way, I guess. It's only got one way. You want to, I'll try and show you from an angle. You want to take the knees out as wide as you can, okay? As wide as they'll possibly go. And then you're going to bring the weight into your forearms, okay? And we're going to hold that position. Now, alignment-wise, showing you from the side. So your hips come down. You want to try and keep your hips in line with your knees. You're going to flex the feet and keep your heels in line with your knees as well. So you kind of got, when you're in that position, this like square, like goalpost with the legs, okay? So your hips out, so you come to the knees and then down to the heels, all right? So you've got that right angle on both sides. And then just keeping the weight to the forearms. Try and now relax your hips. Let gravity naturally do the work here, everybody. Okay? And then here, also one thing to think about, don't just relax through the lower back. We want to engage the core slightly. So think about belly button to spine, engaging through the tummy so that we're controlled. We're not just releasing through that lower back. And again, like we did with the other two poses, okay, we want to use our exhale to release tension as much as possible. So it might feel good to close those eyes. Trying to control the breath, keep it slow, in and out through the nose. Releasing tension from the hips and stretching out those inner thighs. Every now and again as well, you might want to introduce a bit of movement. So this won't be huge, very small. You can see now that my hips are just gently shifting forward and back slightly. I'm just having a little play, just seeing how that feels. If it doesn't feel good, don't have to move. Well done, everybody. And again, the longer you're here, can the knees come out a bit wider? How does it feel if you try and slide them a little bit further away? Comfortable pose, right? So just take a couple more breaths. Oh, I love this. Just think, if it's ever a little bit too much, it's good for you, okay? That's the thing that keeps you going. So from there, we've got one more breath to take. Last push. Okay, and then you're going to come out, walk the hands in, toes together, and then just slowly walk the hands back and draw the knees in. Woo. So just do whatever you need to do here, whatever feels right at this point. Okay, might be child's pose. You might just want to lean back and just let those knees just rock side to side. Or you might not want to move at all, and that's also okay. So from here then, so let's now bring the soles of the feet together. I'm just going to take lying butterfly. So again, just continuing this feeling of opening through the hips. So your knees are out, just let them fall naturally to the side. And depending on how it feels for you, you can adjust the feet. We're going to start with the hands around the ankles. Just pull and lift up through the chest. You want the arms to stay long and the back as well. And then just think about now squeezing the shoulder blades together so you open through the chest. Take a few deep breaths in and out. Just let the eyes close. So as you're holding this position, just feel this length through the back. Feel this energy just drawing you up from the crown of your head lifting and opening through the chest, and keeping the hips grounded. So just slowly control that breath in and out. So keep that length through the body. You're going to take an even deeper breath in now. As you breathe out, slide the feet a little bit further away, and then I want you to break that mold. Exhale and just let your body soften forward. So release through the back of the shoulders, release through your neck. You can hold onto your feet or ankles. I don't want you to force yourself down. I want you to literally just relax into it. So let all the tension go from your arms. And just continue to breathe. Notice the difference of the feeling in your hips, how it's shifted to the outside. Just keep this rounded and released feeling through the body. Okay, just take a couple more breaths, everyone. And then when you're ready to come out, slowly roll up through the spine. Just extend the legs away. Okay, we're going to just shift the hips forward and then take our time to just roll back and bring those knees in towards your chest again. And like we did at the beginning, we're just going to let the knees come away and towards the body. Just breathing in and breathing out. Letting your breath lead the movement. Just at a natural pace for you. And notice how this feels on your lower back. Feel the length, and then just feel that release as the lower back presses into the floor. So we've got 2 more poses. What we're going to do next is take happy baby pose. So you're going to send the legs up in the air, bend the knees and take the feet out to the side. So your option first, so we always flex the feet, and you can either bring the hands to press onto the back of the thighs. You might want to reach and hold onto the ankles, or you might want to bring the hands around the soles of the feet. Wherever you are, push the pressure down and then bring the shoulders back and feel the knees come out wide and towards the floor. At the same time, just consciously thinking about bringing that tailbone down towards the mat. So we're not lifting off like this. We want to try and keep that tailbone down. And if it feels good, you can take a rock side to side. Just keep that pressure through the hands. And then to finish, we're going to bring the soles of the feet back together. Let the knees fall out to the side and just take lying butterfly pose. So your shoulders roll back down, palms space open, and just close the eyes again and refocus back on your breathing. just stay lying on your back. So just try and keep your legs in that position. Just let the knees naturally fall out. Try not to hold that tension in your hips. And just let this feeling of openness just wash over the front of your body. Across your heart space, hips. Let go of any unwanted tension. Notice if you're maybe holding this in the face, maybe in the jaw. Are you gritting the teeth slightly? Just let this go. And just feel that gentle rise and fall in the breath. If you want to, you can stay in that position a little bit longer, or if it feels more comfortable, you can extend the legs away and just let them relax there. Make sure that you're comfortable and just continue to breathe softly and just at your own pace. Now just start to take your breath in deeper. Really just fill the body up. And as you breathe out, just let it go. Just feel this warmth and release. Continue to just take deeper breaths. And just check in with the body again. So maybe even just take a scan again from the top of your head, down your body, and just notice how you're feeling at this point. Any words or feelings that come to mind are completely the right feeling for you right now. So just have a moment to self-accept them. And then when you're ready to, just introduce yourself back into the space just by moving. That might be moving the fingers or the toes. Maybe just taking the head side to side. Or even bringing your knees into your chest again. Just do what feels right. And then gradually bring yourself back to a seated position. So let's just take one last breath in. Just breathe. Let your arms come overhead. Palms come together. Thumbs tap down to your forehead, lips, and heart. And thank you. Well done, everybody. So hope you got on okay with that. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you soon. Bye.